こんルアー岩波ルアーです。Hello guys. Did you miss me? It's been a very long while because it's been a very long while since I last streamed because you know that lazily making music stream that I was supposed to do on like June 6th. Guess what I caught? Guess what happened on June 6th? I caught not COVID. I caught a regular cold. I caught a regular cold because I left the window open overnight and I got sick. That was basically why I had to cancel stream that day. And like, lots of people were understandably very concerned when I got sick. They're always telling me, hey, you should go to your local pharmacy and get yourself a test. So that way, we gotta make absolutely certain that you do not have the deadly virus. You know, the virus that killed millions 4 years ago. And I went far and wide to get the test. And I did the test. And it was not COVID. It was just a normal cold. It was just a normal cold. But I'm back. Colds actually do cure a lot faster than colds. I mean, I may have like very, very, very occasional coughs, but I feel all right. I feel all right. My voice is no longer as bad as it was that that day on like Thursday night when I was supposed to stream. It's like I sound like absolute garbage. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on like at the end of last month, like people catching the cold, people catching the COVID. There's like, you know, there were cases at Offkai Expo where people were reporting getting the vids, and I'm just very very lucky that I was not one of those people. Instead, I got myself an actual cold because I was a dingus and left my window open. No rush, this music is helping me finish my emails at a good pace. Hope you feel better now. Yeah, I feel a lot better, or at least I don't feel like crap. I feel energized when I get up from bed. And when I don't sleep super late at night. And yeah. So I hate to admit it, but not really much has actually happened during the time that I've... No, not Supermarket Simulator. Hello there, Karma. How are you doing tonight? I know it's fairly late, but I hope you can enjoy yapping. Maybe maybe play some pianos. Who knows? I've been in a... I've had a knack to like actually do some recording, so who knows, maybe I might bust out the FL Studio and just like do some random recordings of like Japanese music and stuff, yapping about whatevs. Because you know, yeah, I got sick. But what happened while I was sick? Nothing. Because I was sick. And I was originally I was planning on starting streams last week, but I just I was just, I was just not, I don't know, there was some funk going on within me. I was just like, you know what, maybe I'll just take another week of streaming break while I just max and relax and do stuff. My friend is like, so gym tomorrow 5 a.m. right? And I'm like, tomorrow? But today, like, you don't have to stay if you don't let me stop you from going to the gym at 5 in the morning. 5 in the morning. Wow. I mean, where I'm from, we have this place called 24-hour fitness, where if you really wanted to, you could go work out at 5 in the morning. But damn, 5 in the morning, go sleep. Go sleep. don't let me stop. But if you want to postpone your streaming to when your gym adventure to when I'm not streaming, like tomorrow, I hope you enjoy. I hope you have been enjoying your super early morning gym adventure. Wow. I used to go jogging at like early in the morning, but the earliest I would ever get up to jog, or not jog, but just like go on a walk at the neighborhood next door, I would usually go up at the earliest 8 a.m. or 7:45 a.m. just to get ready, and then just like walk a few laps around the neighborhood next door. And then I'd come back, get me some breakfast, and then be back just in time for work. And I might sneak to the gym at lunchtime. Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. As long as you are being active and like going and like getting your exercise every week. I start work at 8 a.m. so that's why so it's not that different from like how I used to do stuff, because I used to walk the neighborhood at like 7:45 to like 9, and I start work, and that is just about enough time to get breakfast and then go to work at 10. You guys make me feel old and sleepy, lol, Jake. Hey, you and I both. Though you may or may not be like slightly older than me. But hey, you and I both. Yeah. We're old. I am old. Sometimes I go play Dance Dance Revolution at my local arcade. I play Dance Dance Revolution, and then after like a nice it doesn't feel that bad when I'm playing DDR, but like hours later, like I just lie down and I feel like my knees is about to shatter into like a million pieces. Is this what happens when you get old, or do I need to actually get God, that's the one thing about getting old. It's like, you know, all of these things are like coming at you, and like, you know, maybe you might need to see a doctor or two for something that may or may not be concerning. Sometimes it might be concerning, and sometimes it might not. Like you never know unless you actually go and visit. DDR game is also cardio. Yeah. That is my cardio workout for like the week. Okay, at your age, it's still too early for your knees to do that. I think it's because I played a lot of DDR, that like my knees have been getting a lot more work than like the usual human does. Like I just play lots of DDR. It's fun. It's my fun way of getting a workout. even though most people just like they like try they like most of the people that I talk to when it comes to like DDR, they're like the super fans. They like to play like the super hard stuff. Me, just playing like 8s or 9s on like the new gauge is like enough for me to get a decent workout. But I could also go for I could also go back to jogging. That also works. It's gotta not stay up at 3 in the morning to do that, because you know, if you go to sleep at 3 and then wake up at 7, that's like 4 hours of sleep. Yabba hayasugi. I sleep late and I wake up early. That's definitely not a good recipe. Don't be like me. Get your sleep. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of your physical health. Take care of your mental health. Make sure you're not in a psychologically bad position in life. And I mean, I can't guarantee that you're I don't know what your life situation is, but if you can manage to be in a situation where you're not like, where your psychological health is in peril, then good on you. You are very fortunate. What I do when playing Osu is I sort by difficulty and I go from like 5 stars to 6.5 stars. Yeah, that's how you do it when it comes to like improving in rhythm games. You start with like a baseline and then you just like edge yourself like a little bit further to just like make sure that you're like able to like hit the stuff or like figure out the stuff. I've been recently doing this with a game called Beatmania 2D. Don't say it like... I mean, you just like push yourself. You just like push yourself a little bit further. I'm sorry. No. Wording. Oh God. I mean, like push your limits, like just like a little bit further. I'm dead. My choice of words is not really the best. Hello there, Tofi. How are you doing tonight? We're talking about rhythm games. We're talking about rhythm games and getting better at them. It's okay, son, I know. Oh God. It's like, I'm glad you can understand. I'm glad you can understand. Wow. What timing? What timing? Hello. Hi, I'm Lure. I play arcade games for fun. I play rhythm games for fun. I've been playing this quote-unquote DJ simulation game called Beatmania 2DX, and I've been learning how to play the game with both sides of the controller at my command. It's called doubles, and it's hard. It's like learning how to play a new game altogether. I wish I had room for doubles, but I don't, because my desk is a mess and I wouldn't know where to put a Beatmania controller if I wanted to. So I just go to the arcade to play. But yeah, rhythm games and getting better, like, yeah, you just have a baseline and then you just play a little bit above that baseline to just like push yourself, and you know, and just like maybe learn like a few more techniques, because you know, Off-Kai weekend, I had the privilege of meeting Karma Komodo in person, and get this, I'm not sure if I talked about this in like an earlier stream, but okay, I'm gonna go a little story time on here, because I have an explanation on how I was able to witness Karma Komodo play Dance Dance Revolution for the first time. So it was the end of Off-Kai. It was the end of Off-Kai, and I was unpacking my bags. So I could like get ready for get all of my stuff ready to like stream again and like all of that stuff. I unpack my Switch. I unpack my Switch and I unpack all of the stuff that is in my bag. Like I unpack my four N64 controllers, I unpack the dock, I unpack the Switch, I unpack 2 Pro controllers, I unpack like all of my stuff, and then I stop for a moment, realize what was wrong by the fact that I had 2 Pro controllers in my bag. Also, hello there, John Cypher and Marine Edge, JJ Love, Paimon Foodie X. How are you guys doing tonight? You just caught me in the middle of story time on how I managed to play DDR with the Panda Punch Gamer and Karma Komodo. And it all started when I was unpacking my stuff, and I noticed that there were not 1, but 2 Pro controllers in my bag. There were 2 Pro controllers in my bag, and I realized that something was wrong there, because flash back to Friday Off-Kai. We had a Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 setup at Humi Now's full health party meetup. I brought out my Pro controller. Karma Komodo brings out his Pro controller, and we all have a good time playing Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. And then we have a good all merry time, and then it comes time to pack up the stuff. I just like hastily pack up all of like the Switch related stuff, and I think while I was packing stuff up at the full health party meetup, I may have accidentally grabbed Karma Komodo's Pro controller in the process. Did you steal someone's Almost! I caught myself. I was unpacking my stuff, and then I noticed that I brought my Pro controller. But I also saw that there was another Pro controller. And then I instantly went on Discord and messaged Karma. I immediately went to Discord and I messaged Karma, and I was literally just like, hold on. I was literally just like, wait for it, hold on. I know I sent it somewhere. Oh, here it is. Okay, so hold on. Okay, here's how the whole transaction goes down. Starts unpacking his backpacks, various cables, 4 N64 controllers, 2 Pro controllers. Okay, my Casio Tone power cable is in the backpack. Wait, I have 2 Pro controllers? So, what's a good rendezvous point to get you your Pro controller back? So I did whatever I could in my power to get Karma's Pro Controller back to him before he had to fly out. And I was working that Monday. I was also working that Monday, so I wasn't sure if I was able to like get him the Pro Controller back, because you know you were thinking like he was going with friends, and he was worried that, oh, there might not really be that much to do at round one, because like, you know, there's not really that, there's like an arcade and I guess there's like bowling and stuff, but then they go to the actual round one and there's a lot of stuff to do. They got crane games. I mean, sure, they got the bowling, the billiards, the darts, the arcades, the karaoke. There's only one place to meet up and solve this. Final destination. No items, Fox only. Oh my god. I saw someone playing Danna-sama no Love Song on DDR. Ooh. Danna-sama no Love Song. Is that a Vocaloid song? It's like, I know there's like a lot of like licenses in DDR, like there's Toho, and there might be some like idol stuff, but yeah. But yeah, glad you guys are doing well. Fortunately, I was able to get back Karma's Pro Controller, but not before joining them at like a last minute karaoke session where they sang that one song that goes like, you and me, baby. No, wait. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. So they sang that, and then they also sang My Way by Frank Sinatra. And that was the beginning of a beautiful gamer friendship. You bet it was. All because I accidentally packed someone's Pro Controller. All because I accidentally packed this Pro Controller in my bag. But this whole story has been leading up to this point. I got to play DDR with Karma Komodo. And one of the things that I noticed off the corner of my eye when I played DDR with Karma Komodo, is that I could tell that where he's based only has like very old versions of DDR. You want to know how I could tell? You want to know how I could tell that like where he lives has only like old versions of DDR? He returns his foot to the center every note. And I only noticed this because I looked at the corner of my eye and like I was seeing his legs flail around so hard, and I was just, while I was just like doing my normal steps, I was just thinking to myself, oh, he's one of those players. Honestly, I didn't know you're not supposed to. Honestly, I don't blame you. Because especially if you only have older versions of DDR, the beginner step guides do not help in this regard. They always return to the center. They always return to the center of the pad after each note, and honestly, I think that may or may not have developed some really bad habits to people that were just playing the game very casually, and they're just playing the beginner stuff, and they're just like, oh, what do I do now? I can't believe you know that detail. I have a very photographic memory with this stuff. That's why I say DDR is not a beginner friendly game. You want to know what really you want to know what really takes the cake? So they released a new version of DDR called DDR World, and you want to know what they got rid of? They got rid of the tutorial song that tells you not to return your feet to the center. They got rid of the tutorial in DDR. In the latest version of DDR. They got rid of the tutorial. They literally just like throw everyone into the deep end. It's like, oh, you don't know how to play DDR? Well, here's like a few folders of like popular music. Have fun. Have fun trying to figure out what you're supposed to do. Yeah, that's so rigged for us. It sucks. It sucks, and especially it sucked for us because we didn't get like very detailed DDR home releases until like a little bit later. But like, yeah, we had it bad. We had it bad. Leave the babies in the forest. The worthy ones will rot. Oi. Don't leave Tofi to babysit the rhythm game babies, okay? She wouldn't know what to do with that. It's so bad, man. It's like you know, it really says a lot when like mobile and like PC rhythm games are like the ones that are trying to make the genre more accessible, but like but like, you know, you see like all of the big rhythm, like especially the Konami rhythm games. I feel like, okay, very occasionally I do peek at like Japanese YouTube like list videos, and one of the list videos that I've come across like a while back were like, what are some of the hardest rhythm games out there? Almost every rhythm game that was listed in that video, they were all made by Konami. They're all Bimani rhythm games. Like Dance Dance Revolution is hard, Beatmania 2DX is hard, Sound Voltex is hard, Poppin' Music is hard because, oh, it may look like a game that is tailored towards kids because of how colorful it is, but have you seen how hard that game gets? And yeah. Honestly, I don't mind the Bimani rhythm games because I have been playing them for many years, but I do realize that there are many others who don't really have the luxury of like living near a round one or living in a place that has an easily accessible like Bimani arcade game. Which is why I'm hoping that my makes its way to round one, so that way we at least have like some form of accessible rhythm game. I feel like Sega is doing a really good job at making rhythm games more accessible. There's just one problem though. They're not available in America. Or they're not available in an official capacity in America. They're doing like a test down in SoCal, but it's still just a test. But if the test goes well, which so far so good. Like, I'm glad that it's actually been getting a lot of traction. If it goes well, they might expand it to other round ones. And I will definitely look forward to the day where my local round one gets a My cabinet. Honestly, Sega should just finally bring online My and Tuna them to the US. I sincerely think those are more noob friendly. Yeah, like it's really interesting because they're like on the they're very like sure, yeah, Geki Chun, like Ongeki, Chunithm, and My, like, okay, maybe not Ongeki because it has like gacha mechanics, but like especially My and Chunithm, like if you bring those over, those are probably going to be like the most accessible rhythm games one could try at round 1, or like over here in the States. We just need them to bring I would also say Groove Coaster, but Taito did the game, unless you play the Switch version. To be fair, I also think people should not judge a game's overall difficulty by its hardest songs. Yeah, that's what I've been, like, honestly, that's what I've been really thinking. Like, most of the, I've come to realize that most of the diehard fans of rhythm games, they only play the hardest stuff, and they just absolutely pretend that anything below the hardest doesn't exist. And like that, I mean, like, sure, it's really good to have like that sort of competitive mindset when it comes to like improving and stuff, but I would also like it if there were like more players that actually did keep a little bit of their history like in their souls, because I feel like when it comes to like the people who just want to strive that are at that top bracket, they can, like, their only strength is being able to help people that are either already at the top bracket or approaching their bracket. And there's not really that many like low to mid-level players that can spread their wisdom on like what is difficult and what is not, because people think that if you're not at the absolute top, your wisdom in a rhythm game means nothing, because of course you don't really have all of the exposure to like everything that a rhythm game has to offer. But when it comes to like the top players, the only thing that top players know are the things that top players commonly play, which is only top level stuff. They can't really help like low level players unless it's like very general advice. Like, I've been playing this, earlier I mentioned that I played Beatmania 2DX with both sides, so I'm playing doubles. And one of the things that all of the players will tell you is that there is a home position. There's a home position that exists, that because when you're playing doubles, there are more keys than you have digits on your fingers. So there is a thing that you have to remember when you play 2DX doubles, and that there is a home position that you can rest your fingers on to best be able to like comfortably hit all of the notes. And most people and most top level players will say to any level player, just remember home position and you'll be able to get to 10th dan without any problems. And I'm just sitting here being all like, okay, I understand what you mean at a very, very general level, but then that just but it's so general that remember your home position just becomes paramount to get good and play more. Yeah. So that's why I've been like taking notes on like what is actually hard for someone my level, because like they're like, yeah, home position is very important, And I am starting to realize why home position is very important, because there are a handful of songs in the level that I'm trying to play at that is just like nigh impossible for me to like actually deal with, because they have all of these weird patterns that I'm just not used to, and it's like it's really tricky for me to like figure out those patterns, because I've never had to deal with them before. And then all of the people that are playing are just like, yeah, just remember home position. Yeah. I used to play Bimani games like most American rhythm gamers do. Now I'm a trader to American and play mobile stuff. I wish I could play mobile stuff, but I'm not gonna buy an iPad Pro just to play rhythm games. Excuse me. You're talking about Bimani. I remember playing U-Beat on iPad and it was so fun. They actually still have U-Beat on iPads. Yeah, they recently brought it back. One problem though. Japan only. Because of course Japan only. So you need like a Japanese Apple account in order to like play the thing. Well, I like playing every song, but I do... Oh. People only think a game is hard because of crazy Japanese button slapping game vids. Step Maniacs, crazy American foot stomper. Yeah, that's social. And honestly, my thing about that is... That's social media for you. It's like... Look, I have come to realize that like rhythm game social media essentially, like whenever it comes to like rhythm game social media, I just think like the loudest voices are always going to be like those who are like super passionate about it, and those who are super passionate about it are also happen to be the ones that are like super skilled at the game. And so, like, most of what you see with, like, rhythm game social media is, like, all of the cracked stuff. And with good reason, too. Because, like, you know, anyone can anyone can suck at a rhythm game. Anyone can just play a rhythm game normally. And, like, you know, it's not, like, big whoop. You're playing a rhythm game. You're playing a rhythm game and you're pretty decent, but you're not like super groundbreaking or anything. You're not like yeah, you're getting like triple A's on like 9s and stuff, but there are people that can get those triple A's like candy. There are some people that can get like a million points on like every DDR song, like it's a thing to do. And in terms of like casual people just like taking a glance at rhythm games, like they just see like high level stuff, and there are two ways that this can go. One is, wow, that looks really nice. That looks really nice and really tough. And really tough, but I want to try it out anyways because the gameplay looks interesting. Or, oh, it looks really nice, but it is really tough, so I'll just watch from a glance because I'm not sure if I can actually play it. It's like, yeah, it's just kind of like a split of how like people are going to perceive the game because of like how hard it is, or just like how people will perceive like, you know, any game that has like a big skill ceiling in general because of how hard it is. Like shoot 'em ups and hardcore Tetris games come to mind. Looking at you, Tetris the Grandmaster. Looking at you. What other games are super different? Shoot 'em ups. Especially cave shoot 'em ups. Those are stupid hard. Those can get pretty stupid hard. Stupid hard. Looking at you, Top. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I think that's just anything with like a super high skill ceiling. There's a lot of like rhythm game. There are a lot of like game things that like have like super high skill ceilings. Like, okay, anyone can play NES Tetris. I'm going to go on record for this. Anyone can play NES Tetris, or classic Tetris as all of the modern people call it. Anyone can play classic Tetris. Like, you just go into the game. And then you push, you select your game type A, music 3, 1, 2, 3, or off. And you select your level, you go to level 9, and then you get like a few Tetrises and you start feeling good about yourself. And then you start going down the classic NES Tetris rabbit hole. And then you start realizing that people are doing things like max outs. And then they're beating Tetris by crashing the game. And then it's like they learn about max outs. And then they learn about dash charging. And then they learn about rolling. And then they learn about rolling, where you actually like pivot an NES controller with your feet in order to get the best maneuverability on NES Tetris. And then once you master rolling, you get to quote-unquote beat Tetris by crashing the game at absurdly high levels that most people weren't even meant to see in the first place. And you want to know what's after that? You want to know how deep this freaking rabbit hole iceberg goes? You want to know how deep it goes? NES Tetris Rebirth, where you play to the point where the game thinks that you are just playing from level 0 all over again. But anyone can play NES Tetris, right? Tetris has gone wild now. Like, I just see all of the development that goes on with NES Tetris, and I'm just like, bro, I just want to play Tetris. I love Tetris, but not that much, okay? I don't want to go through all that. I don't want to go through all that mess just to like get like, honestly. Okay. There comes a point where you need to find like a stopping point to your pursuit of pushing your limits. There's gotta be a point where you just throw in the towel and be all like, you know what? I am satisfied where I'm at. I am satisfied with only getting halfway to maxing out on Tetris. I don't need to trick the game into thinking that it's starting from 0 all over again, even though I've been doing this session for 2 hours straight. I don't need to do that. I don't think that is anyone's end goal to Tetris, to NES Tetris specifically. One should not make it the ultimate goal to just go from just playing Tetris to tricking the game to thinking that you're playing Tetris from 0 all over again. That is my that is my stance on things. I'm sorry, people like Mari, people like Rika, people like Dubstep, or heaven forbid, people like Wiley. Like, those people are like super, like, have been like pretty into like NES Tetris recently, and I'm just sitting here being all like, do I really want to go down this rabbit hole? Do I really want, okay, do I really want to like, do I really want to like deal with the absurdities that every extremely high level NES Tetris player is dealing with? Or do I just want to sit in my kitty corner, just satisfied that I'm even able to get like, to get to where I'm at? It's because like, despite everything, the people that are able to do things like max outs, the people who are able to do things like get to the quote unquote kill screen, where the pieces drop every frame, or get to the point where they beat NES Tetris, where they make the game crash after like a very long play session. I think the people that you can, I think you could probably count with your own fingers the amount of people that can beat Tetris by making the game crash. I'm just I'm just blown away by how ridiculous things get when like high level. It's a single player game. Why are you making this stuff competitive? It's like, relax. It's just a single player game. It's like, oh my god. I hope I hope that like I hope that like you guys can understand like the absurdities that go on with like this sort of stuff. Like, I'm not trying to like do all that stuff. I just want to play Tetris. I mean, like, yeah, I will try my best to like best my own limits, but I'm not trying to trick the game to thinking that I'm just starting over from zero again. I just want to play NES Tetris for the fun of playing NES Tetris. Me introducing Zoomers to total plan shooters to bamboozle their expectations regarding bullet counts. I mean, you do have a point there, because like, especially old school stuff, like, if any bullet hits like any part of your ship, boom, they're dead. Yeah, shoot 'em ups did not used to be this crazy. It's not like modern days where you like just have like a little crystal in the center and only bullets that hit the weak point deal massive damage. It's like, you know, if that bullet grazes even like the antenna of your ship, you dead. I love Toho. I beat quite a few, but the difficulty varies more than in the Soul series. Yeah. Personally, I play normal mode because, you know, there's this song called apply to the cut, and it melts, and it melts perfectly, I think, or as most people will know it as the Overdrive song. You know, the song that goes easy mode maji so only kids play on easy mode. But then, you know, at the end, you know, it's like there's more than just easy mode, dude. It's just like, you know, he's like, hey, You could at least try normal mode, you know. You could at least try playing on normal mode, you know. It's like, no, it's, oh god, oh god, oh god. It's like, oh god, I missed, oh god, they got me. It's like, hey, did you know that, hey, you could at least try you could at least try giving, you could at least try giving normal mode a shot. I will never understand NES Tetris meta. By understand, I mean appreciate. Yeah. Things get like super absurd, and like I want to believe that people like in the NES Tetris community know that they are like a niche. You know, a niche of like super high level players, or that they at least know that like where they're at is not the norm. Because like yeah, it takes a lot to get there. It definitely does take a lot to get there. Like most people will just be satisfied with just like starting at level 9 and then just like seeing how you like get from there. I mean, all you have to do is just get all the Tetrises, right? You just get as many Tetrises as you can, make that score go up. But like, yeah, it's never gonna get to a point where I need to buy an NES, like an actual NES with a CRT with an NES controller and do something as crazy as learning how to do rolling, for instance. I am not about to rest my NES controller on my feet just to be able to tap near 30 frames per second on an NES controller. No. Today I beat Tetrio Zen mode. I played until my laptop battery ran. I mean, that's a good stopping point. Zen mode really never ends, so like honestly just like play it whenever. I want to just play DTAP, but no, it doesn't work on post XP Windows. Let me guess. Do you run a virtual machine that runs XP? Or do you just like go out of your way to get like a computer that still runs Windows XP? Tetris is wild. Yeah, Tetris is super wild. Max level is 225, right? So we only need to beat 255 levels, right? He's crazy, man. Max is 200. For godforsaken reason, level 219 is 810 lines long. Hooray for NES Tetris programming. Every time I see a 40-minute long NES Tetris video, I'm like, I've watched these so many times. There's no way there's new developments and things to be said about it, right? Nope. They're all mind-blowing and different. Yeah. And it's like I just wanna sit in my corner, and I just wanna man, I love Tetris. It's like I love Tetris, but not like this, man. I'm not like this. It's like it's gotten to a point where it's like, you know, like I'm not worthy to be around the people who are like super Tetris coded. Like I'm very tempted to literally just like, I'm really tempted to just like leave some Tetris communities because like, look, I love it. I love Tetris, but not like this. Because like, I'll challenge myself on my spare time, but I don't want to make this like a core part of my identity. And there are some people who make playing these things like a core part of their identity. And, you know, I'm not gonna fault them. Like, they probably have their own reasons for, like, doing this stuff, but, like, I don't know. I don't know. You can only unlock the extra level on normal plus on most games. So nope, easy. It's just for practice. You haven't beaten anything. Yeah. Oh, and yeah. Here's one big unrelated development. One big unrelated development I would like to share. I got myself a new MIDI keyboard. A MIDI keyboard that is wireless. So I don't have to like look away from what's in front of me in order to play the piano. Yeah. Just thought I'd share that. It should also make composing streams more interesting, because I don't have to do things like make sure that the whatchamacallit, make sure that FL Studio is or like, okay, I don't have to do the thing where I pick up my iPhone and then plop it on my Casio tone, because I can just play the Casio tone with this wireless keyboard. How's the latency? It's actually not too bad, actually. I mean, there might be a little bit of latency when it's like resting for a long while, because it has to reinitialize the Bluetooth. But once the Bluetooth's up and running, it's like it's not that bad. The thing about Bluetooth MIDI, like wireless MIDI, is that it's the latency, it's like there's no latency, unlike it's not like Bluetooth audio where there's a noticeable latency. When it comes to MIDI, it's basically instantaneous. Yeah. So you may well see this whenever I do like piano streams and or music making streams. You just play it from the comfort, of this keyboard, and not having to rotate every time I want to play the piano. You just play it on here. The only downside is because like it's a lot closer to the mic, you'll probably be able to like hear like whenever like the keyboards clack, or like yeah. Man, I'm still kind of sweating a bit from that whole NES Tetris iceberg discussion. It's like, God, why do games have to be this absurd? It's just a single player game. This also has me wondering about like rhythm games as esport, because for the most part, like, rhythm games are kind of like, okay, how can you do this single player thing better than the other? You just gotta have better technique, duh. It's like you just simply gotta like be better than the other player and just like score more than the other player. I mean, never mind that there are things like, oh, you gotta figure out like picks and meta and like figuring out, or like maybe like it's like everything is like a sight read, or like only the last song is a sight read. There's this rhythm game series there's this rhythm game tournament series called King of Performai, which is based on the Ongeki Chunitha Maimai series of Sega rhythm games. And what they usually do is that, like, you know, the first two songs in a set will usually be like predetermined, and like people like it will be revealed. And chances are, if you play a lot of Maimai, you will have exposure to that song. So it's literally just, okay, so just do the usual, like do what you're used to, and then just do what you're used to, and then just call it a day. But the last song will usually almost always be like a secret. Like it'll just be like the last song for this King of Performai, and then they pick the song, a fancy cutscene plays. They've never seen this song before, like it's very brand new, and then you just sight read the things. Like, I just think about like rhythm games are mostly a single player for the most part, and like the competitive part of like rhythm games mostly just comes down to, can I outperform the guy right next to me? It's a rhythm game boss battle. Yeah, exactly. It is literally a rhythm game boss battle that the very top players get the privilege of playing first. And for the people that are watching, it's really hype, because no one knows what the song is going to be. No one knows what the song is going to be, and that is what makes things very interesting, because there will be some people that bust out like the bingo cards, being all like, oh, will the guy that made the song show up to MC in the King of Performai, or will the person making the final song be like insert artist here or something like that. But I just think about like rhythm games as like a competitive game, and I'm just like, how is it competitive other than being able to perform better than everyone else? Because then it's just a matter of, well, I hope my opponents aren't better at performing than I am. And it really is a matter of just like, you know, making sure that your scores are high, I guess. Like making sure that your average scores on like your best, like whatever highest difficulties you can reach are good enough that you can be able to like pick the, like run into the thing and be able to execute the thing as best as you can. But it just, I don't know, it just gets to the point where it's like, you know, you can try your best in a rhythm game competition, but your best is not going to be good. But sometimes your best is just simply not going to be good enough, because there will be someone that inevitably performs better at what you're trying to do. And it's just like, I mean, I guess that's also where, like, you know, people come in and then they just think about like, oh, how do we improve how do we like improve, like how do I do this technique better and how do I do that and stuff. It's like, man, I just want to enjoy rhythm game. I mean, like, okay, I will at least say this: you do not have to be a competitive player in order to enjoy rhythm games. Like, you can just stay put. Like, if it makes you happy, you could just stay put. Like, you could continue playing rhythm games, but you are not obligated to try and reach the highest echelons of what you can accomplish. And if you do, it is because you yourself want to do it through your own motivation, and not simply because you see like very professional, like very top level players like being able to do that stuff like Candy. I am pretty sure that it took them years to get to where they to get to where they're at. I mean, some of them might speedrun, might try to speedrun things. I personally just take it easy and just bask in like all the as much content as I can, because okay, we're gonna go back to professional rhythm gamers again. When I say that, like, when I see like high level rhythm game players play like 2DX or DDR, I see people that I see their level folders, because in 2DX you're able to like you're able to have like folders that only correspond to a certain level. There are the people that play at high levels on this game, they do not acknowledge anything below level 10. Like, I will see them have like flashing lamps on level 10, level 11, and level 12, but you will not see those lamps on anything 9 and below, which goes back to my whole problem of high level rhythm gamers never acknowledging anything easier than that, because why would they? Like, at that point, it is literally like playing levels 10 to 12 on 2DX is paramount to playing an extremely convoluted game of Metronome. For a good majority of them, at least. And then anything that isn't playing a convoluted game of Metronome, they complain about, because the song that they're playing isn't a convoluted game of simple Metronome, because they gotta deal with quick rhythms and other stuff. Like, they gotta deal with like quick rhythms and really weird techniques that involve the turntable and stuff. And yeah. But yeah, they're just single player games, man. Like, you're not obligated to like reach that stuff. If you want to get into rhythm games, like Rin said, like, you don't I'm not sure, like Rin briefly mentioned this, but like it's also why, like, personally I don't also agree with like rhythm game social media's tendency to only showcase like the highest level performance at the highest level difficulty, because it masks the fact that anything below it exists, which is why rhythm game chart videos exist. What is a rhythm game but a convoluted game of Metronome? Have you played a rhythm game that was based on fan-generated maps? You mean like Osu and Step Mania? Yeah, I've played those. I've played Stepmania. I've played Osu. I don't actively play both of those games, but like sometimes whenever I visit my local rhythm game arcade meetup, they have a Stepmania setup. They have a Stepmania setup that I occasionally play on, and it's really nice. Technically, Stepmaniacs is an official arcade game, but on their mobile app, but they have a mobile app that you can use to like keep your profile on, and also you can whatchamacallit, you can make custom charts with that. What I found most interesting in those communities, the mapping style changes with time. It's like an evolving language. I think the same also goes for like commercial rhythm games too. Especially like very long running ones. Like you'll see, like in games like Dance Dance Revolution, in older charts especially, you will see like techniques used often in charts on those on like older versions, like, you know, double steps, spins, and like crossovers. Like you'll see like those like in earlier games, those sort of like techniques that we would consider advanced now, that was commonplace in like older versions of DDR, because it made you move, like, because here's the thing about old school Dance Dance Revolution. I am of the firm belief that old school Dance Dance Revolution was actually trying to do what Dance Rush wanted to do this entire time, using only the technology they had available in the late 90s. Like they wanted to be like a dance simulation game, but the best they could do was just buttons that you hit with your feet. And that is why most people just equate Dance Dance Revolution as more of a foot stomping game than a game that actually makes you dance. Because in order to turn Dance Dance Revolution into a dance game, you have to acknowledge that, like, you know, you have to acknowledge that, like, you know, the dancing part is totally optional. And it is all, and it's totally optional, and because it is optional, I guess it just came to a point where Konami just didn't they just couldn't care less about like catering to like people that wanted to dance, because there was a competitor that sprung up in the mid 2000s that made Konami change the way that they approached DDR at the time. Have you by any chance heard of a game called In the Groove? They pandered to pro players more than dancers now. Exactly. So the reason why In the Groove existed in the first place was because people were getting tired of how relatively easy Dance Dance Revolution was, and they wanted more challenging charts to play, because most people at that point have started to realize that it is literally just a bona fide rhythm game, with the only difference being that you play it with your feet rather than with your hands. So now, if you want an actual like dancing experience, your go-tos are Pump It Up, which is like Dance Dance Revolution, but they actually have like a team of charters that actually still care about freestyle dance, like freestyle panel dancing. Dance Rush Stardom, which I am also of the firm belief is what DDR actually wanted to be, but they couldn't do it with 1997 technology at the time. But they could with 2017 technology, or mid 2010 technology. And so we get Dance Rush, which is the one with the dance floor. And then you get games like Dance Evolution, which back in the day this was back when like the Kinect was like the big thing, and that was really good for like dance simulation. The other thing that people could play at home is like Just Dance, and then it's just like you pick up your Joy-Cons or your Wii remotes, or you play in front of the Kinect, and then you just dance. And then you also have games like Dance Around, where it's basically just Dance Evolution Lite with worse tracking. Because it has to calibrate your body every single time you want to play a song on Dance Around. Whereas with Dance Evolution, it's literally just a Kinect game. It automatically calibrates your body just by being in front of the camera. We had a couple of Just Dance parties with the Wii U. Ayo, I have cousins that have the latest version of Just Dance, and they just play it every now and again to like exercise, because it's literally just dancing. It literally is just dancing. Like, we are at a point where like there are much better games that you can play if you want to freestyle dance than Dance Dance Revolution, because Dance Dance Revolution has already sailed that ship in terms of like dance simulation. It's like the player base eventually saw DDR for what it is. It's literally just Osu Mania for your feet. I mean, Osu in its current form did not exist in the mid 2000s, but it surely did in the mid 2010s. And like most people, they just see DDR, and it's like Osu 4K, but you use your feet instead. Yeah, Osu 4K, because that's all it is, right? Osu 4K. It's all just Osu freaking 4K. Just kidding. Just kidding. My vitriol for this is not as seething as I make it out to be. You'd play with your smartphone instead of needing Wii controllers. You set your Wii U tablet in front of the TV to use the... Oh! Right now on Osu, I can't stand zoomer maps. Maybe I'm getting old, but why do they change the spacing every few seconds? Old Komodo yells at Cloud. I know, right? No, okay. Here's the thing about me and Osu. My set list for Osu has been frozen in the early 10s. Like, when I used to play Osu, like the songs that I used to have for it, the latest one that I had dates to like 2014, I think. That's it. But yeah, it's been a long while since I last played Osu. And I'm not sure if I want to get back into it, because it just seems like it's like an aimbot simulator. It's aimbot simulator. I mean, I could try to get back into it. Like, I have a mouse whose DPI I can swap on the fly, which makes it very easy for me to you know, like hit the stuff, but like, you know, it's kind of disorienting sometimes, you know. Sometimes you don't want your mouse to go all zoomies and stuff. Sometimes you just want like normal mouse sensitivity. I don't know where I've been getting at anymore. Like, I've just been yapping about have I just been complaining about things this whole time? Like, I know that there are communities that are go on like being super good about stuff, but like, I don't know, I just want to enjoy the stuff without like feeling pressured to like be at like the highest level, because there's much more. Because like imagine you play a rhythm game and you don't acknowledge anything but the highest echelon of stuff. That means there is a potential for you to like just ignore like a good like a good set of content, because their highest difficulty never reaches like the lowest threshold of what a high level player wants. So like say for instance, it's like, oh, there's like a really nice song, it sounds really nice, too bad it's rated like a 7 out of 12 in this rhythm game, so I just play it once and I just get it over with, and then I either just get the lamp and I just get it over with. I mean, most people like you want to know what I suggest these people do? Like, you have lamps for everything in 10, 11, and 12. Why not just conquer the old stuff so you can get the lamps and get it over with? It's like you're just gonna cast aside content because because like it's easy peasy. Then just get the easy peasy, lamps and get it over. Don't make me grind for high scores. Exactly. Like most of the stuff that I play on 2DX, I only play like once. I mostly grind for, like, if there's anything that I grind for clears. I don't want to grind for score because, like, look, whatever score I get is whatever score I get, okay? I'm not trying to be in, like, the Bimani Pro Leagues and stuff where I, like, try to, like, get, like, the highest score on, like, the rhythm game and, like, get, like, a trophy to represent like a popular arcade in Japan. Just go for the clears, man. Like, get the lamps. It's like, look at all these songs that look at all these 9s to 1s you haven't cleared. Oh, but they're too easy. Well, just play them anyway. just play the content anyway. It's like, oh, it's too easy. Oh, you think it's easy? Well, just play the song and just get the EX hard clear and get it over with, man. What are you waiting for? You're just playing the same. Okay, I get it. There are enough 10 to 12s to keep you busy. There's like a good 1,500 charts within that difficulty range alone. I get it. But there's another 2,000 and there's another 2,000 below that. Just do it. It's like it's like what else you gotta do with your time? Play the same song. Oh, play the same song that you've already passed. You've already gotten the lamps for. You already gotten like the full combo lamps for that? It's like, what are you doing? Look at all this other stuff you haven't touched. At least Japanese gamers get it, right? It's like, it's like they clear all the hard stuff. But look at all this other stuff we haven't cleared. It's just go back to it every now and again. Like, go back to that stuff. It's just like, just get the AAA. It's like if your fundamental timing is there, you just grab your AAA, grab your EX hard clear full combo, whichever you end up getting. And then that's it. You never have to touch it again. Like, especially when it comes to like official servers, like once you touch it and you get that achievement, you get that lamp, you don't have to touch it ever again. Like a new version comes, sure, you don't have the scores for it anymore, but you still have the lamp. You could still get the lamp. What do you guys do? And like, you know, people will just see me yapping because like I'm just like a mid-level player that's like comfortable with playing 8s to 10s on 2DX, and I'm just like, you know, at least I'm playing within like those difficulty ranges. Sometimes, like, you know, there might be a time where like I might not have time to play 2DX or what 2DX for whatever reason, and so it gets to a point where I haven't played for long enough that I just forget how things work, and so I have to play like 5s and 6s all over again until I get used to things. Yeah. And that is my life as a rhythm gamer, ladies and gentlemen. I've just been mid this entire time. I'm mid at DDR, I'm mid at 2DX, I'm mid at Osu, I'm mid at Mai, Chunithm, on Geki. I'm mid at everything. It's like everyone is like super babby or super cracked. And me, I'm just hairborn. Demo hairborn. People seeing you yapping and be like, hey, this is kind of nice. I wonder if they Yes, I do. I do. You want to know what I'm going to be streaming when I'm going to be streaming on Wednesday? A new FPS game called Perfect Dark. Okay, it's not new in the sense that like it came out very recently, but it's new in the sense that I've never played it on stream before, and I can't wait to play it. It's no 007, but I wanna play it. You know, sometimes I use my MIDI keyboard as a fidget. It's like a fidget toy. There's a Perfect Dark remake in the way. Key phrase. It's not out yet. But if it comes out, I'll take a look, or maybe I'll like see what's going on in case Microsoft pulls a fast one, because Lord knows that you know, all these big companies like to pull a fast one, because the gamers, we want them to spend a lot of money on video games. We don't want them to just buy the $70 game once. We want them to buy the thing more than once somehow. And so we're going to add these things that make players, or that allow players to pay things more than once. Yeah. I don't really touch AAA game reasons for the reason that I don't want to be pressured to like buying more stuff. It's already bad enough that I did a sponsored game thing for Fontafana. Never in my life would I have imagined me playing something resembling Clash of Clans or Raid Shadow Legends, but here I am playing something resembling Clash of Clans or Raid Shadow Legends just so I can give Fauna sponsorship money. Just so I can give Fontafana sponsorship money. I spent all of $5 on this sponsored game. Even though Fauna insisted, hey, okay, you can hit the goals just as long as you don't spend money. Guess what I did? Guess what I did? I'm gonna go into the chat and find the chat, because Okay. Alright. Alright. Maybe we might need to... Okay. Alright, let's, No, we lost him. Lure isn't the hero we wanted, but the hero we... Hey! Hey! I'm only doing it because it probably gets Fauna a lot of money. Or relatively a lot of money. Alright. Okay, here's how the... Okay, here's how the whole conversation went down. I have a confession to make. In pursuit of helping Fauna with her sponsorship, I and it's like Fauna's only cutie 205%. It's like panic. Fauna's favorite mod bear. Now all of China knows you're here. Now all of China knows your banking information. I'm just like, and then Fauna's like, Lord, did you spend money? At least you like the game, right? Up to a point. Like, the thing with these games is that, like, there's a honeymoon period. There's a honeymoon period when it comes to these games, and it's like, it's cool. It's cool that you can, like, do all this stuff to, like, level up your village and stuff. And it's like really nice to see the power levels go up, and then you'll be able to like form alliances and like attack other like alliances and stuff to like get stuff. But then after the honeymoon period ends, you start to see it for what it is. It's like you just spend more money to like be able to be more powerful than like the person next door, and it's like, this is not something that I want to play for an extended period of time. I played AFK Arena for like a week to support Kiyumi, but I didn't spend money. Yeah, I know Musagi also occasionally does like sponsored game streams every now and again, where he like does like the stream element. I think it's like the stream elements challenges, and then they just like, and then she just like picks a game where like she can rally up her whole community to like, you know, reach objectives, and she can get sponsor money. Musagi at least is like really smart with it though, because she actually vets the games she is about to play. She actually vets the games that she's about to like do sponsored stuff with. And if it turns out that the primary goals require that your community spend money on the game, then it's a no-go. I'm not entirely sure how the goal system works for Rise of Kingdoms, but I'm thinking that like you're like, I mean, she's glad, like she acknowledges that like, you know, people might not be able to spend money. So if you just want to get to like, if you just want to level up your city hall to like level 5 and then just leave it at that, then that is perfectly fine. Like it's that anything helps sort of like support. I only spent the amount that I did for this because the game was generous enough to give me half off on the thing, on one of the goals for that game. And it turns out that if you get that one goal, like if you get that one goal, you automatically unlock the other goal for that Rise of Kingdoms game. Because if you buy like the gem pack, then you also get access to the starter hero, whatever it's called. and you don't even have to pay again for that starter hero. I'm not sure if that counts. I'm not sure if you had to like do those separately, but hey, I'm only spending $5 on it. And if me spending $5 means that Fauna gets like more, like gets that matched like 250 to 300%, or even more than that, I mean, I'd do it. I mean, it's much better than like sending. I mean, the other alternative would be sending Fauna $20, like $20 directly to her. Just send her $20. Just send her like actually $20 without needing to go through the sponsor thing. And that's what I do with sometimes whenever they do like whenever a streamer that I watch does like a sponsored game where they try to rally the community to like play the sponsored game in order to like, you know, get like fundraising money and stuff. Cause like sponsored games are just another way of doing like fundraising, right? Cause like Fauna is trying to do her fundraising thing to like fund her new live 2D model. I'll pay $20 to save myself 10 hours of AFK. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I know. Yeah, that's what I notice about these like clan games. They're basically AFK games. Most of your time is spent unattended. I mean, yeah, you could use items to boost the amount of time it takes to like get to those points, but if you want to play, like, if you just want to play, like, if you play as the game makers intend you to, you're basically just playing a waiting game all the time. You want to know how much of a waiting game it is? So it is like before I hit like the 200, like the last goal for Fauna sponsorship, I've gotten to a point where making a batch of units takes like 2.5 hours. Or how I most conveniently like timed it, it is like one block of me working my 9 to 5 with the break, with like the 15-minute like break. Because like we're encouraged to like take like small breaks every 2 hours, so that way we're not just like slaving over the computer for the whole 8 hours. Get your stretchies in, because I don't have a redeem to tell me to do my stretches. More self-care, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of self-care, I'm gonna get me some water. I'm gonna get me some water. Be right back for a little bit. Stretch. Yeah, we don't have redeems on YouTube, and I'm kind of scared of redeems. I'm kind of scared of like implementing redeems on YouTube, because people who are more accustomed to Twitch will just tell me, well, if you're going to do redeems on YouTube, why don't you just stream on Twitch? And then people who are accustomed to YouTube will probably just be allergic to redeems to begin with. But I gotta figure out a way to posture check, guys. I gotta figure out a way to do midstream self-care. In which case, I am going to get some water. Be right back. We'll get back to yapping in a bit. Where's my disclaimer? Where's my disclaimer? Doko. Oh, it's off screen because you know what? We'll just go back to the waiting screen. Let's just go back to the waiting screen. BRB. No, wait. That gives me an idea. Maybe I should actually have like a BRB variant of my waiting screen. You can now mix chats if I remember correctly, so maybe multi-stream one day. I could do that. I could do that. It's like, what's John Twitch gonna do, huh? What's John Twitch gonna do? Is he going to be like, is John Twitch going to be, what is John Twitch gonna be all like,
How dare you?
Is he gonna be like that to me? Is he gonna threaten me? Gonna threaten me? I'm not even monetized on Twitch anyway, so like, because I'm not affiliate, I can't even do redeems on there anyways. I can't even do redeems on there anyways. Anyways, I'm yapping too much about this. Be right back. I'm gonna get me some water. Right, I forgot. I forgot to... I've just been yapping at nothing. It's really strange because if I went back to the BRB screen, I could have just left my mic as it is. But yeah, I came back from my BRB screen. I came back from getting some water. Dang it, that means you guys didn't hear my bit where I reintroduced myself because I used the loading screen as my BRB screen. But anyways, you guys can hear me now, right? You guys can hear me? Yep, yeah, the meter's going up. You guys can totally hear me. But yeah, for the past hour and a half, I have just been I've been talking about how absurd NES Tetris has gotten over the years, and I've also talked about how I will never understand extremely high-level rhythm game players because of how they have this big tendency to only focus on the extremely high-level things and never pay attention to anything below extremely high level. You'll never understand why extremely high-level players leave anything below a 9 untouched on Beatmania 2DX when they can just as easily just mop the floor with all of those difficulties. Because if you're going for lamp complete, because come on, just get the lamps. It's not that hard. Just play the song once. You play the song, you get the lamp, and then you move on with your life. New version comes, you keep the lamp. What are your expectations about Switch 2? I want to buy it. I don't know what it is, but I want to buy it because it is probably the best. Like, I mean, of course, stuff like the Steam Deck exists, sure, but for a console experience, by console experience, I mean not handheld that can be a substitute, that can potentially be a substitute for your laptop or your PC, but it's like, you know, like one of those like closed systems. Is probably like the best way, the closest thing we can ever get to potentially a PS4 Pro in your hands. Yeah, but what about the Steam Deck and the ROG and the ROG Ally and the Lenovo Lenovo Legion Go? And it's like, I'm talking about things that can't double as your goddamn computer. But I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what it's about, and I'm looking forward to when they finally drop details on what it's about. But like, I am very moderately hyped is what I'm trying to say. Last version was Nintendo Switch Lite. It would not surprise me. It's just a version of the Switch but with new tech. I mean, that's what most people like want it to be. They just want it to be more Switch, but it's more powerful. I miss PS Vita. Sadly, Sony will never do a new portable. Yeah, Sony's PlayStation division is kind of all over the place, if you ask me. Like, I don't know what they're doing these days. Like, you know, it's like, okay, we got Horizon, we got, what else? What do they have? Bloodborne, that's a PlayStation 4 exclusive. They have, I know Helldivers 2 is the thing that they've been wanting to like do the thing for. It's like, oh, you could play Helldivers 2 on PC. And then they rolled out PlayStation Network requirements. Everyone hated that, so they rolled back the requirements, but they also did not reinstate the game to be available to regions that don't have PlayStation Network. And I was just like, you know, maybe for a while I was looking a bit at, like, you know, maybe playing Helldivers 2 at some point, but with all the kerfuffle that has just been going down with Helldivers 2, I'm just like, everyone's asking about a PC port of Bloodborne to this day. Dude, if Bloodborne ever comes to PC, I'd give it a shot. I mean, the alternative is de-dusting my PS4 and buying it on there. But then I also have to make a PSN account for my Vtuber self, because I only have a personal PSN account, and I don't want you guys, you know, the PSN account. And I'm not getting a PS5 either, because you know how huge those things are? You know how huge those things are? That can't fit on my desk. It's too big. It's too big. Yeah. It's like, why does it need to be that big? Like, if you want me to get a PS5, I'll probably just wait for a PS5 Lite. When is that happening, Sony? Huh? Am I back? Sony, when are we gonna get a PS5 Lite? A PS5 Lite that could fit in the comfort of my small bedroom. I'm sorry, I saw that OBS disconnected for a brief moment. I just wanted to make sure, but come on, Ken Kutaragi. I know Ken Kutaragi is not really like, is not really like the head of the PlayStation division anymore, as far as I think. I'm honestly just saying things. Well, hold on, I need to look this up so I'm not like pulling things out of my butt. Ken. Yeah, he used to be the He used to be the chairman and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment. And now he's just like, what is he doing now? I don't know. But yeah. Do you have a favorite musical anime, and did you see Girls Band Cry? Musical anime. I'm gonna have to think about that one, because I've only seen 1.5 episodes of Bocchi the Rock, and I have not touched Sound Euphonium. I have seen like 8 episodes of Chaos. So if there's anything that I can play favorites for based on how many episodes I've watched of any of them so far, it would probably have to be K-On! For now. So far. Until I get off my butt and start actually like watching anime. But yeah, K-On! I do hear that Bocchi the Rock is good. I just need to get off my butt and start watching Bocchi the Rock. Of which maybe I may consider doing like watch-alongs eventually on my Discord. Maybe. PS5 Lite is like PS5 Slim. Wait, is the PS5 Lite out already? PS5 Lite. Wait, the PS5 Slim's already out? Model Group Slim. Okay. PS5 Slim versus PS5. I need to see a side-by-side comparison to this PS5 versus PS5 Slim. It's not even that small. It's not even that small. Or it doesn't feel that small. Hold on. I need to... Yeah, it's not even that small. It's a little bit small, I guess, but like in terms of like height, it's still like, oh my. Sony, man, what are you doing? It's still smaller than PS3, is it? Hold on. Okay, now I need to see the size comparison for that. Because I do have a PS3 Slim. I do have a PS3 Slim. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I do know that the fat PS3 was like ginormous. Like it was thick. Like thick. THIYUCK, thick. Yeah, I mean, I guess it just recent. Wait, hold on. What did this recent? How recent was this? Oh, it released last year. Why does it not feel that small? Because, you know, I'm trying to see all the size comparisons, and it's like, I still remember how thick this boy was. Damn, the first PS3 was big. I mean, to be fair, they did cram the guts of a PS2 into the PS3 for maximum backwards compatibility. And they also added like all of the IO under, like all of the like IO under the sun that they could cram in at the time. They got an SD card reader, they got a memory stick dual card reader, they got compact flash, they got MMC, whatever. it had the works. They had USB. I think this was a console that ran completely off Ethernet. I know early Xbox 360s did not have wireless built in. Wireless being built into consoles as standard wouldn't arrive until Wii U, Xbox One, PS4. Because as far as I was concerned, I think it was only Wii and PS3 that had wireless built in. Yeah. The fat one had all of the backwards compatibility. So you could play everything from PS1, PS2, PS3. No. I'm not letting my intrusive thoughts get in. I'm not letting my intrusive thoughts win on this, because my intrusive thoughts were thinking, hey, you should get a fat PS3 so you can play PS2 games with HDMI. Hey, you should get a PlayStation 3. An old, very old school PS3 so you can play PS1 and PS2 games through HDMI. I'm surprised this generation still didn't have any modded consoles or piracy. I mean, I guess they're cracking down really hard, nah. I know there was a lot of homebrew for like Wii, 360, PS3. I especially saw like CFW for PS3 when I was still in college, and it's like, damn. It's like, what? It's like I guess they just spent all of the successive generations trying to make sure that that doesn't happen. Yeah. I remember X360 being very popular in South America because of Sounds about right. Sounds about right. I also it's like I remember the Philippines, like even further back from like 360 days. I think all the way back to the PS1 days. One of the things that I got from my cousins in the Philippines was a modded PS1 that could play burnt games. And like all of the games that they had, all of the games that they gave me for PS1, they were all like bootleg copies. They're all like bootleg copies. It's like a couple of them had like the freaking CD key music, had like the freaking CD key music and stuff. They had the CD key, like they had like the crack tros and stuff. Yeah, it's like those crack tros gave me nightmares as a kid. Because that was my first time I've ever seen like a crack tro, and that was my first time I've ever seen like a crack tro. Because I thought like, you know, PS1 games, like I thought like you just put the disc in, it shows the normal logo, like it shows the normal logo, and then and then it plays the game. But specifically for Spyro Year of the Dragon, they had this really the logo wasn't the usual PlayStation 1 logo, and it blasted this like really loud chiptune music. It blasted this really loud chiptune music with all these like weird graphics and stuff, and it was just like, I don't know what is going on. What is this? Why am I seeing this? Why am I seeing this? And I had nightmares just seeing that intro. And like that, we had to go through that intro every time we wanted to play Spyro Year of the Dragon. And like we just played Spyro Year of the Dragon as long as we could, because I was so freaked out by the crack tro that I just played as much as I could, and then it's like, if it meant that I didn't have to hear that I eventually got like accustomed to crack tros and like the underground scene and stuff. But like when I was a kid, finding that out for the very first time, it freaked me the heck out. I got like, it gave me goosebumps, and I just kind of like ran away scared like a dog, trying to get away from the freaking crack show because of how loud it was, two, how like ominous it sounded, and three, when the bass kicked in, I was just like, mother, get me out of here. I don't want to play this game anymore. And then later down the line, I found out why the game needed a crack tro, because the anti-piracy in that game was very, very powerful. It was so powerful that it took that, like, they needed the crack tro in order to try and get rid of all of the anti-piracy in that game. Because if there was any hint of modification and it tripped out like the anti-piracy checks, then it just it's just like, oh, you are using a modified copy of this game. There will be some things that won't work right. And then I eventually saw videos of what happened when the game doesn't work right, when the game detects a modified copy, quote unquote, and the best way that I can describe what happens is like, you play through that game far enough. It's like you play through that game far enough, you get to a point where you see like the final boss and stuff, and then like you get to the final boss, and suddenly like the game like the game freezes for a moment, and then suddenly the game puts you back in the balloon, and you're back in the you're back to zero. Like, it just resets all your progress. It resets all your progress if it detects that you're playing a modified version of Spyro Year of the Dragon. It resets you. It resets your. And also, preemptive apologies to Mother Tofi for what I am about to do right now, but it resets all of your progress as if to say,
I hate you and you're puntable, and I hate you and you suck.
Don't pirate games. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh god. But yeah. That was when I eventually learned why that crack troll needed to exist, because otherwise the game would get like super crazy and then it would just wipe out all your progress, and no one likes it when you play through a game for a long period of time and suddenly all of your progress has been wiped. People that pirated Earthbound will also know this lesson very well. Because it has the same sort of thing. It's like you get to the last part of the game and then it freezes for a moment, and then it's just like, and then the game is just like,
When will you learn? When will you learn that your actions have consequences?
to your save file. Yeah. Well, we've gone through like a handful of topics this stream. It was me complaining about Tetris, and then me complaining about high level rhythm games. God, I've just been complaining about a lot of stuff, haven't I? But I want to play the Switch too. I do look forward to the Switch too, just as much as I am looking forward to playing Perfect Dark on Wednesday. And speaking of which, yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here and just let you guys know. Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming again this week. I'm back. Like I may or may not have a lingering cough, like very, 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 very occasionally, but I'm back. I'm gonna play some Perfect Dark on Wednesday. I'm gonna play some Perfect Dark on Wednesday. Hope you guys can look forward to it. And yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here, folks. Thank you guys for watching. And yeah, we're gonna be back on my 2-controller shenanigans with Perfect Dark Zero, or not Zero, just plain old Perfect Dark for the N64. Mature 17 edition, because okay, so Nintendo, because they are primarily based in Japan, they have this thing where they must they have this sort of regulation where they must put all of the mature rated games on a separate app, because anything that has already been released that is accessible to like children and teenagers cannot have content that is that has like mature stuff on it. And so I'm gonna be downloading an extra app just to play Perfect Dark. It's really interesting because 007 for the GoldenEye on the N64 is considered a mature game in Japan. But here in America, it's just a normal T-rated game. So Perfect Dark is gonna be my first M-rated FPS And I've never actually played through the campaign of Perfect Dark before, so this is all going to be new to me. So yeah, hope you guys can look forward to hope you guys can look forward to all of that. I still miss some exclusives in the PS3 era like Guilty Gear and Senran Kagura. Oh god. Remember, wait, was Senran Kagura always a fighting game? Hold on. Cause like I see all of the other games that are Senran Kagura, but like side-scrolling action game. Oh, it was. So it was like a. So I'm guessing it was like a beat 'em up. I'm guessing it was like a beat 'em up with like Shinobu, with like Kunoichi. With like Kunoichi characters. Yeah. But yeah. Alright, it's been a long night. I'm gonna call it here tonight. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, I'm going to be streaming Perfect Dark on Wednesday. Same time, starting at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please adjust to your local time zone. I'm begging you. I can't put up all of the I cannot put up all of the time zones. So yeah. So please yeah, 9 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So whatever time it is over there, just remember, it's like whatever time it is right now, just put it back 2 hours and that will be the start time. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next stream. Otsuruwa, bye bye, blah 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 blah. It's like GoldenEye but futuristic.